Good morning. Today we are continuing working with those numbers. Yesterday we did exponents. Today we're doing the opposite of exponents. We are doing Co9. I can find the square root of a number. So square roots are opposites of squaring a number. If we're talking about exponents, what did I say it meant to square a number? What would the exponent be, Lila? The 2. So 3 squared, 3 to the second power would be 3 times 3, which equals what? 9. So we're going to be doing the opposite. We're going to be doing the square root today. So we're going to get the big number, and we're going to break it down to what number times itself would get us that number. So finding the square root means you're looking for a number multiplied by itself. For example, the square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times itself, 5 times 5, is 25. Using mathematical symbols, the above example looks like this. I'm going to write it bigger here. So we've got the square root symbol. That's square root, and we put that big number under the square root of 25. So we're saying the square root of 25 equals 5 because we know 5 times 5 is 25. So if we're really good with our math facts, we can do some of this as mental math. So if we look at the first practice one, it says the square root of 49. Who knows their math facts? Who can tell me what the square root of 49 is? Bridget? 7. Because we know 7 times 7 is 49. Some of us are going, oh, Smokies. I'm good at math, but I'm not the best. I don't have my math facts memorized. It's going to take me a little longer. If we don't have math facts memorized, it just means we have to put in extra work, and it will take longer. I see some of my friends are saying, oh, I know I don't have my math facts memorized, and I have my assignment notebook out. So the multiplication table, can I borrow this? So if you're looking at the multiplication table, you're going to find 49 and say, oh, look, it's 7 times 7. Okay? It has to be the same number multiplied by itself. Okay, so if we're looking, sometimes there might be different ways, like 36. It could be 9 times 4. Would 9 be the square root? Why not, Liam? What's 9 times 9? Kylie? 81. So 9 can't be the square root of 36. It's just a factor of 36. Whatever you put as the square root, you have to be able to multiply it by itself to get that number. So what would the square root of 36 be, Patty? 6. Because 6 times 6 is 36. So you have to make sure you're finding that number when it multiplies by itself. It's that number. So if we look at 100, what is the square root of 100, Helen? 10. Remember, what I write on the board, you need to make sure you have written on your paper. Square root of 16. What do you think, Erin? 4. I know 8 times 2 equals 16, but that's not the same number. 4 times 4 is 16. That makes it the square root. All right, so for our work today, oh wait, we have to finish these, sorry. I didn't finish it. So it says, what number times itself is 49? Well, if the square root of 49 is 7, we know 7 times 7 is 49. This is our way of checking it. 10 times 10, same number, equals that number under the square root sign. 4 times 4. So it's our way of double checking. You're going to do the bottom 3 yourself. And I'm going to show you how we use our calculator. Just like we could do the exponents, like 2 times 2, we could do easily in our heads or with the multiplication table. When we get to bigger numbers, it gets more complicated, and we might not know that mental math. So let's get our calculators out, and I'm going to show you how to use a calculator to find that answer. So when we're looking at our calculators, remember that exponent button is the arrow. Right underneath the arrow, we see x as a base, 2 as the exponent. If we're just squaring a number, like let's say we have 7, and we want to square it, we can just press the square button, and it gets us 49. Remember, squaring and square roots are opposite. So on our calculator, that square root sign, that little symbol, is right above it on the calculator. Not on the button, on the calculator. So what that means, to get to it, we have to press the second button. Then we press that square button, and you see we get the little square root symbol. We put in what our number is, and then we hit equals. So what we're telling our calculator to do is to find the square root of 49, and it's telling me it's 7. So let's do a bigger number. Is it kind of hard to see with that glare there?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to keep it tilted a little bit so the sun isn't hitting it. So let's say we want to know the square root of 81. So I'm going to hit the second button up at the top, the one that says second. Then I'm going to hit that square button, because I know right above the square button is that square root. So it's telling me to do the square root. I see that square root sign on my calculator. And then I punch in the number that I want to find the square root of. So I had said 81. What is the square root of 81? Kellen? Kellen is right. It is 9. Okay. Some of us, when we're really good with our math facts, we can know it right away. Square root of 100. Oh, I know 10 times 10 is 100. It's 10. I don't have to use my calculator. Some of us want to use the multiplication table in our assignment notebook. That's okay. As long as on the test it says you can use your calculator, you could use your calculator to find the square root. Sometimes on the test it'll say do not use the calculator. That's when we have to just know our math facts or use the multiplication table. Any questions on the square roots or using the calculator to find the square root? Okay, so let's go back to our page today. So this bottom row you're doing yourself, finding the square roots and then writing it out. Then we have word problems. So one handy thing about the square roots is that we can use them to find side lengths of squares. Let's say the area of a square is 25. What would each side of that square be? Remember, they're going to be the same number. So if we find the square root of that number, we will be able to find it. You are going to answer these questions on your own when we come back from our class. So if we have any more questions, we'll go over it after art class. Right now, we're going to close up. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Remember to come see me if you continue to have questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.